positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know, we do it over here. I just saw where one of the hitmen in the young Dolph murder was sentenced to life in prison.
Of conspiracy to commit first degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first degree murder, I
spend the rest of his life in prison and have to deal with whatever blowback happens from this conviction with all the prison politics, because it's not over. It's not over, and it seems like this is something that's a little deeper than what's on the surface. I guess a witness took the stand, including young Dolph's sister and his head of security. Though the head of security wasn't with Dolph during the murder, surveillance video captured Dolph's brother at the scene. Prosecutors led by Paul Hagerman detailed the events leading to Dolph's murder. They argue that Justin Johnson, one of the suspects, had been offered $100,000 by BigHerc to kill Dolph, who had a long-standing animosity with Gotti's record label CMG. Hagerman presented evidence, including surveillance footage and cell phone records, linking Johnson to the crime. And I guess one of the co-defendants, Hernandez Govin, who claimed had financial motives to manipulate Johnson. So when you talk about like the hip hop community, and you talk about the black community, and you just talk about the need to grow, the need to heal, and why there's so much divide among this group, these groups. A lot of blacks just don't know how to work together, man. They don't know how to unify. You have a handful, but then you have another handful, and it becomes tribal. And somebody thinks they're outshining somebody else. Maybe there's a female involved. And then you have those who want to prove themselves to the group, so they're willing to strike or make a move, and it just gets ugly. But when you look at building, and I'm always telling you guys about just trying to build and elevate and move beyond what's material in front of you, because that's only here right now. But when you talk about a legacy and leaving something for your children and setting an example, leading by example, these young men have thrown their lives away. And you might listen to this and be like, man, you don't understand. I've been there, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how could I reach you guys or reach those who have ears to hear that maybe are in a mindset that they feel like they don't have any options, and maybe they're not looking outside the box. When you think about not just your neighborhood, not just your block, your street, you think about life on a global scale. And, you know, a lot of people are quick to say, well, you know, we don't have this opportunity, we don't have that opportunity. But these young people have a lot of opportunity, but it's what you do with those opportunities. And no, not everybody can be a rapper. Not everybody's gonna be the big baller, the big chain, the big this and that, you know, but maybe you could be a great mechanic. Maybe you could be a great welder. Maybe you could be a great builder, house builder, construction, whatever the case may be. You have a skill set, and you just have to be proud of your skill set, man. You don't have to try to outshine everybody in what you're doing. And you don't really have to prove anything to anybody but yourself. But know that when you run around a certain group of people, you're going to put yourself in a position to get compromised, to be compromised. I mean, even this gentleman right here, he's tied into this whole scenario. And
you called Trayon, right?
No, sir.
You didn't?
I was with you on the days outside because he dropped me off. And we asked him, did he have anything to do with Dolph being dead? Because if he did, we're not going to be around him. That's something.
Well, you told detectives that you had a conversation with Trayon after the homicide and stated that you called him.
No, sir.
That's not true?
I was with him on the day of. He dropped me off in Raleigh and then Infinity.
All right. And you told Trayon, according to what you told them at the time, that people were trying to put your name in as one of the shooters in Dolph's murder.
Yeah, that was for sure.
When was this conversation?
The day after. The
Day
day
after?
after me recognizing that Dolph was dead, and the day after that we recognized that the car we were just in that had something to do with Dolph.
And you already knew the day after he's killed, that people are putting your name in it.
It's my family. Like, they know what car we were just in. Like,
Who's your family? When you say your family,
Dolph people, like Dolph, like they're my family.
can you explain that to me a little bit more? Are they your blood relatives?
Yes, sir.
How are y'all related?
Cousins.
Okay. And you're saying the family would have known that you were driving around in that white Mercedes?
Yes, sir.
How would they have known that?
We was calling them, letting them know when we got the van.
You called Dolph's family.
You know,
Who?
we called people that were related.
Who'd you call?
I can't tell.
What do you mean you can't tell? You don't know?
They're not in it.
Who'd you call?
Can't tell. Treon did all
you
the
got
calling.
family members who you think are on your team who want you to win, and in all actuality, they want to plot your demise. They're jealous of you. And no matter how much you give them, it doesn't matter how much you try to help them, they don't care. They don't want you to be any better than they are, and they feel that they're better than you and that everything you have should be theirs. That's just the mentality of some people, man. It's just how they think. They just got a warped sense of reality in what they feel you should have and they should have. Doesn't matter that you're the one with the skill set to make the more money in whatever situation, or you have this ability. They just don't like it. And these people are parasites, man. These people are very detrimental to your health, and you got to be perceptive and be able to recognize these people, because if you don't, they can cause you a lot of harm. I've had it firsthand, man. People, I thought we were hella cool. I thought, I never had any words or misdealings, and come to find out, relatives didn't like me, man. Just, said that they hoped I fell on my face. They didn't want me to have a nice car. They didn't want me to have any nice clothes. They didn't want me to have shit. They would be happy if I was on a Greyhound bus. Literally, that's, in essence what they said without saying it. And I'm looking, and a lot of times alcohol brings out the truth. So when a person gets inebriated, they start leaking. They start leaking their emotions. So alcohol is a great way to get somebody to express things that they've been holding in, having pent up, for them to, throw it up. And that's why a lot of times, big businessmen, they take people out, have them drink and see what comes out their mouth. But the homies in the hood, relatives, same way. you gotta know the people you're around. There are a lot of snakes, a lot of pieces of shit out there. And, you know, when you live in a life and you speaking on certain things, in certain circles, it's not even a big thing. You know, everybody has what you have or more. It's not even anything, but when people don't have nothing, and these people are basically lost searching, they're coming for what you have. And that's why they say a lot of times, you know, dudes get a little bit of bread, they get up out the hood. Oh man, you're not around no more. Man, around, you become, you know, you become prey. Dudes is trying to, you know, they're trying to figure out how to get you. And your family members become prey. So the whole trying to pull certain people up, man, you got to know who you're pulling. You don't want to pull up a viper and get bit in the arm. You gotta be paying attention, man. It's sad, but you know, a lot of people say, well, you're speaking to violence. Yeah, you're speaking to violence. That energy too, you got to realize that attracts a certain vibration. And I just think about when I was young, sometimes like some of the stuff I was doing, I'm like, how was I doing it? What vibration? I was on a totally different frequency. It's like you turn the radio dial and you make all that little noise. You guys probably don't really know what I'm talking about, because back in the day they had a radio and it was a dial, and you would turn it, it would move back and forth, and you try to tie in the station. It wasn't digital. You couldn't just put the number in. You had to move the little thing to try to get the station. And my station was messed up, man. But in retrospect, me sharing this story with you guys is to try to, you know, bring light to the situation. Because if I don't talk to you about certain things, who else is going to talk to you about it? You know, hopefully you have an uncle or dad or brother or an OG, somebody who's on some positive. But we have to do better. We have to do better by sharing with our young people so that they can, you know, avoid these pitfalls and live a fulfilling life. There's no reason why a young man should be, you know, gunned down at such a young age. And then these guys, for what, man? They're gonna, you know, get the money, and now they're looking life in prison, and who knows what else comes with that. But what's the point? What's the point, man? I mean, you're jealous over here, but you got money too, and this guy, but you're jealous of this guy? That tells you that you're in a kiddie pool and you should be in an ocean, man. You gotta get away from these type of people. I don't know. I like to see people do good. When I see people shining, youngsters having bread, it inspires me. I don't hate. You know, I think that you're blessed, and what's out here now, something that took, you know, 10, 20 years to get 20, 30 years ago, you can get it now in 5 years, 3 years. It's times have changed. And I'm inspired by a lot of young people with this talent and what you can do, but you got to make smarter moves, man. You got to make smarter moves, and just watch out, because sometimes it's that female you're pillow talking to, you know, dude across the way, he's at the barbershop listening to you about what you got, you know, this guy over here at the club. There's a lot of people, man, just all of them waiting to bring you down. So, you know, hopefully the young Dolph's family can get some peace. You know, even though that, you know, he's not here, it's not the same. But getting this, you know, so that they can move forward, getting this guilty verdict so they can move forward in their life. And you know, that's a part of the game. You might think you get away with something, and people are like, you know, you want to be out here in the streets, but there's two sides to the game. You know, there's, you know, you took a life and you run around, you're a shooter, but then there's also a life you got to deal with. And if, you know, that's something that once you cross that line, there's something that comes with it. Just know that. It ain't just, you know, run off into the sunset. It's never like that. So, just some food for thought. condolences to young Dolph's family. And yeah, man, subscribe, share the channel.
Store and pick you up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that BigHerc916 has authored. Coming. I gotta hurry up and wash my ass. Go to BigHerc916.com, pick you up a bar of soap, and wash your ass, or else you're gonna be under arrest too. Oh shit.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.